It's a day after yesterday, and boy, I really had a challenge yesterday with the wind. Today it's going to be much better. Enjoyed it. My other paddle, get it up here, is another double paddle that I made. I made it out of actually made two single paddles. What an interesting place. Well, we're back on the lake this morning. It's a day after yesterday, and boy, I really had a challenge yesterday with the wind. Today it's going to be much better. The wind speeds are going to be light and variable, and so I'm going to do a little fishing today. Yesterday was just really too windy to fish out of the canoe. You spend more time fighting the wind than you do fishing. So I'm taking a little different route today. I'm going through an area I've not paddled before, and still put in at the same place, put in at the Narrows, but instead of going up to the north end of the lake, I'm going more toward the south end. I just want to kind of see what that looks like down there, and because I've got a trip planned, I tell you, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off. I did about 11 miles yesterday, and it was a challenge in that wind. I promise you. I was plumb worn out by the time I got done with it. And here in the near future, I've got a one-day part of it. It's going to be a 3-day trip, and one of those days is going to be around a 20-mile stretch. So that's really pushing it, I think. For me in this little canoe, depends entirely on the wind. So anyway, we're up here today. We're going to do more fishing than paddling, but it's looking forward to it. And thanks for joining me again. We're gonna have another good day. I've been using my new paddles. I think I mentioned them on yesterday's trip. Didn't talk a whole lot about them, but I did make two paddles over the winter. One's a single paddle. It's this one. Made out of a single piece of wood with some trim that I put on there to kind of stiffen it up a little bit. You can kind of see it. It's a little longer than what I normally use. It's about 5 or 6 inches longer than a single paddle that I normally use. But it does give you more leverage because of that, and so it's a good one to use if you need to have some good maneuverability and you need to apply a lot of torque or something to the turning of the canoe. If I was in fast water or something like that, I would probably want a little shorter paddle so that I could, make quicker adjustments with it. But this one that's working out really well. It's very light. Nothing spectacular about it, nothing fancy about it, but it's a good little paddle. So far I've enjoyed it. My other paddle, get it up here, is another double paddle that I made. I made it out of actually made two single paddles without a handle on them, and then I put you can see it or not, but I put a notch in there, and then I used some dowels to kind of stiffen the joint, and I kind of glued them together. And of course I've got the trim here to kind of make it a little rounder. It's about 92 inches long, which is just about the right length for paddling in a canoe, for me anyway. The typical kayak paddle might be a little bit shorter. It is one solid piece, but that's okay. It took about 4 or 5 days to build, and I see it I used it a lot yesterday, pretty much all day yesterday, and it really worked out well. I really enjoyed using it for the first time. So anyway, man, it's just a beautiful day today. Calm winds. Let's get after it some. Let's do some more fishing. Main part of the lake here. It's a good looking bluff over there on that other side, on both to my right and straight ahead of me. And it's a real delight to paddle when there's not much wind. You hear me complaining a lot about the wind, but yesterday about wore me out. But, it's a really neat spot here. It's always fun to explore new territory, to look at places and paddle places that you've not been before. And so, going to be doing some picture taking as well. The one thing about shooting out here on the lake, there's really different two schools of thought on that. One is the big panoramics, the big Ansel Adams style nature photos with the big sky, and all those kind of things. And I really do like shooting those kind of images, because those kind of images you can shoot all day long. Doesn't have to be early or late. You can still get some pretty neat shots. But there's also the other one where you want to start looking for details. Where there'll be a little patch of flowers that's growing up alongside a big log head, or a bunch of driftwood or down trees or something like that. Or even more detailed, you see a single tree sitting by itself, on a bluff somewhere on the edge of a drop off. And it's a matter of developing an eye for it and realizing that this is going to look pretty neat, and taking the time to capture the moment. Really, that's what you're looking for. It's less about the image and more about the moment, more about how it you capture what you feel, you capture the emotions of what's there. And I think that's one of the most difficult things for a lot of photographers to really grasp a hold of, and to be able to visualize what it is you're photographing, visualize what the final outcome can be. Really pretty bluffs right here to my left. Spin around here so you can see them. They're just a golden brown. They're probably 25, 30 feet, probably 30 feet high anyway. And that's pretty neat. Like I said, it's always fun to explore new territory. I don't have any problem with bass boats and ski boats and things like that, pontoon boats and things like that. I think they're probably a lot of fun. But there's something about in a canoe, you're forced to slow down, and you're forced to kind of just observe nature around you more. You get a little closer to it, a little more intimate to it, and you can see the textures, experience the wind in your face a little more, experience the aromas a little more, I think. It's really quite an experience to do a paddle like this. I think most people, I say most, probably a good percentage of people, have a tendency to think canoes and kayaks are for river travel. And so they certainly are used that way, of course. But I have had so much fun in the last few years doing flat water travel like this, on a lake like this. Now I know, again, I've mentioned it before, it's not like going up to the Canada or the Boundary Waters or any of those those exotic places like that. Someday I hope to be able to make it up there. But for what I have right here, that's within less than an hour's drive from my house, I have some absolutely fantastic, beautiful scenery. And you come out here in the middle of the week, and there's really not that many other boaters on here. There'll be a few, but there's not that many, at least not this time of year. And even in the peak of the summer, there's not that many. But it's a lot of fun to do, and it's, I tell you, I really just enjoy this. It is absolutely gorgeous. To my left or to my right is the main body of the lake. There's a couple islands out there, and they're pretty awesome to look at. They're a lot bigger they're a lot bigger islands than what it looks like they are on the map. I have to check those out sometime. A lot of nice bluffs. Been seeing an osprey. He's always just a little too far off, or by the time I get my camera ready, he's gone. But he's always fun to watch. They're always fun to watch. Anyway. Yeah, we're approaching my turnaround spot here. This was as far as I wanted to go today. Down at the end of this long bluff to where it kicks back to the west a little more. And well, there are some magnificent bluffs in here. I just didn't realize they were as big as they were. Some of these bluffs are 60 feet or 60, maybe even 75 feet high. Get up to the top of them, and they're really spectacular. You can see the different layers. There's different, I don't know, sedimentary layers or whatever they call them. I'm not a geologist, so I don't know what the technical term is, but really pretty fascinating how all that formed. And it has been a spectacular day today. I stopped a few minutes ago and took a break. I discovered something I suspected was there, but I just didn't know for sure what it looked like. But up there by, not far from where the marina is, up there where I put in, there's a cut through that peninsula that opens up into the main part of the lake. If that cut wasn't there, then you have to go all the way around that point. And it's 2.5 miles, maybe 3 miles worth of paddling in order to do that. But that cut eliminates good hour and a half, 2 hours worth of paddling. And if you're not in a hurry, if you just want to go see it, sightseeing, that's fine. But sometime here in the near future, I'm going to be doing a 3-day trip. I've mentioned that several times, and I'm looking forward to the second day is going to be a long trip, and I distanced it, calculated the distance based on having to go around that peninsula, and it's about 20 miles. But with this little cut there, that'll eliminate about 2.5 miles, so that'll drop it down to around 17, somewhere between 17 and 18 miles, which is a little more manageable. So anyway, we'll see. Again, at this point, something may happen where I don't pull that off, but I am looking forward to going. And look at these bluffs here, man. They are just spectacular way they're overhanging like this. Yeah, it's really amazing. And I'm going to go up here just another 75 yards or so, 100 yards or so, and then I'm going to turn around and head back the other way. Take my time, just do a little fishing along the way. Kind of interesting reflections coming off of the water on the bluffs here. It's just like the light is dancing. Like it's dancing off the bluffs there. It's really kind of neat. You could take a still picture of it, but it wouldn't be the same. You have to have that movement in there. What an interesting place. Really, truly interesting place. Yeah, I'm doing a little beach combing now. I kind of took the shortcut back. There's a little cut over there on the other side. You can kind of see the marina over there. That little dip just to the right is the shortcut. But I came all the way across over here. Normally where I'm standing is underwater. But there's some really neat cypress trees over here, little small ones. And there's some really nice driftwood. I'm going to do a little beach combing over here. And that ought to be kind of interesting. I've already found a couple of neat things. Found some jawbones of a deer, and found some kind of a vertebrae of some animal. I'm not sure what kind he is. But anyway, this is a neat looking old piece of driftwood. I'm going to take that home with me. Well, I hung into a little bass a while ago. I was trying to get a video of me catching this thing, but by the time I got the video up and running, he had come loose. So, kind of missed out on it. But anyway, I'm going to keep fishing. Maybe we'll catch another one here in a little bit. At least that was fun. Better than nothing. That's 2 fish for the day. You know, if I hook them, I count them, whether I get them in the boat or not. So, I usually release them anyway, so it doesn't really matter. This wind is kind of drifting me over. Here we go. Alright, let's see if we can get across here without getting run over by another bass boat. Got a little bit of a tailwind. I just came by, so we're going to go through some more breaker drills here. I hung into another nice bass back over there along that bluff. He was considerably larger than the first one that I hung into. But I only had him on for just a couple of 2 or 3 seconds, and he shook loose. And I never saw him, so I don't know for sure how big he was, but he was substantially heavier than that other one. So anyway, that's kind of fun. Like I said, it doesn't matter if I boat them or not. If I hook them, I count them as caught. So that makes 3 fish today. That's about as good as I've done in quite a while. Alright guys, so we're going to call it a day. We're getting kind of hungry, and head on back. Thanks again for joining me today. It's really been a pleasure. It's been a delightful. I hope you enjoyed this little outing as much as I did. So we'll do it again sometime. Again, coming up sometime in the near future. I don't have a date yet, but sometime in the near future, I'm going to be doing a 3-day, about a 40-mile paddle on this here lake, and should be quite an adventure. These first 2 outings were just to kind of get my paddling muscles back into shape, kind of get back into the swing of it. Feeling a little stronger today than I did yesterday, so we'll see you there. Alright guys, we're gonna do something a little different today. Kind of give you my route. Now normally I go up, put in here, and I go up this way, up to this area here. But right now, today, we're going to do a little different route. We're going to go put in here at the boat ramp again, or at the put in. And instead of going around this peninsula here, we're going to cut through this little cut right there, and kind of make our way along this ridge, or along this bank here. We're going to go down this way a ways. I'm not sure how far down here I'm going to go today. Today's going to be sort of a leisurely little ride. So we'll go a little ways and then back up. We'll probably do 6 to 8 miles today. I just want to kind of see what this area down in here looks like. I've been down to this area along in here where it kicks back that way, but I've not been much farther than that. Anyway, that's our plan today. This is sort of a preliminary look-see to see what kind of route I have when I do my longer trip here. Yeah, one of the things that I'm going to start incorporating into these trips are these, I call them Zippo lighter moments. I do that in reference to my old friend Ralph, who passed away a long time ago. Old Ralph was a good friend. He was a mentor. He's the one that got me and my good buddy Rocky and other buddy Curtis. Excuse me. Got us into fishing from a canoe and learning the joys and the pitfalls and the feel for fishing out of a canoe. And we did a lot of canoe camping together. We did a lot of hunting, bird hunting, duck hunting, and things like that together. So Ralph was an amazing guy. He never once went out of his way to teach us anything, to say things to us. He just did it by example, and just through over time we just sort of picked up, his way. He was not in a hurry to do anything, and sometimes we'd get a little impatient with him, but he always came around, and he always enjoyed the getting out. Anyway, the Zippo lighter moments are Ralph smoked his pipe, and old Rocky and Kurt, they didn't particularly care for it too much, but actually I kind of liked it, and it had a real sweet fragrance to it. And he would use that Zippo lighter. I think it belonged to his dad long before he ever had it, so it was pretty old when he got it, but it still worked perfectly. And it made this real distinctive sound. It was, I've got one. I should have brought it with me, but I didn't. But it's this clink, zip, and then you'd hear this puff, puff, puff where he's trying to light his pipe with it. And he, excuse me. That to me became symbolic of who Ralph was. It became really symbolic of many of our outings we had together. Whether they be canoe camping or just a day fishing trip somewhere or a hunting trip somewhere. He really was a unique individual. So I'm going to start including more just reminiscing stories about him. I'm going to call them Zippo lighter moments. So stand by. We'll come up with some here before too long. Look at these bluffs. They're really magnificent. How tall that one is? It's probably 30 feet high anyway. Just straight down bluff. There's swallows up in there as well. You can see them up in there. They got these little dirt dauber like nests up in there. Pretty neat. Kind of neat. I'm going to have to get my other camera out and get some pictures of this. Here we go. Got us a little waterfall over here. Kind of neat. A little drop. Probably close to a 60-foot drop. Not all the way at the top of it. I don't think this camera catches the very top of it. You can see pretty much all of it. See how high up it starts. That's pretty fun. I enjoyed that one. That's a good 60-foot drop right there. Maybe 50. Probably a 50-foot drop. That's good. Oh, it goes up even higher than that. Yeah, let's see it. It goes up. I have to change my lens. Got to get this one on film. Okay guys, we took a little break a while ago. My back was getting a little stiff, so I kind of climbed up on a ridge up there or on a bluff. Just kind of laid down in the shade for a while, stretched my back, and just sat around and kind of listened to the sounds of nature. I identified almost 10 different things just real quick. Woodpecker and chickadees, some swallows that they have their little kind of a high-pitched little chirping sound that they do. Some fish were jumping, wind blowing through the trees and through the grass. you know, it's just one of those nice relaxing moments where you can just enjoy. You don't have to think about much anything, just lay there and enjoy it. And let it all kind of come to you. So anyway, we're going to call it a day here pretty soon. We're going to go up here another quarter mile or so and then turn around and head on back into the pullout down there. I really do appreciate y'all coming along and with me on these simple little trips, but you know, they're a lot of fun in their own right. And you know, it's something to get you away from, well, it gets you away from the campfire, beyond the campfire, and allows you to kind of just enjoy being out and enjoy what nature has to offer. So we're going to do this again real soon. Thanks for coming along with me. We'll see you out there, guys.